Hi, I'm Leanne Ely. I'm a nutritionist, a New York Times best-selling author, and some people even say I'm a life coach. I started the Daily Dish Show to share my story, my truth, and my journey to vibrancy, and to inspire others to do the same. Because it's all about grit, perseverance, and finding a way despite the odds. It's about embracing the whole woman, not just the parts that are easy to love, and feeding her heart, mind, body, and soul. But I found that this isn't just my story, it's your story too. It's go time. This is the Daily Dish. It's Monday! Hello, Marguerite, Alice, Doris, Jocelyn, and Francesca. Of course, I'm so glad you're here. It's time to get into blooming. What do you think? Are you up for it? I am up for it. All this week, we're going to be talking about really good stuff to get us to this next place of changing our mindset so that we can have that incredible, vibrant life that we all hope and wish for. You know, it's less about wishing and more about doing. Am I right? Hello, Gracie. I'm glad you're here. So a couple of things. Let me just remind you quickly, the goals webinar is something you need to go get signed up for. It is 100% free, and I'm going to teach you some really good, juicy stuff. You're going to want to be there. Hey, Jane. So here's where it is. Here's what you need to do. Go to savingdinner.com/goals, okay? If you are on a tablet or you can just pull up another tab and go do that right now so that it's a done deal. And remember, when we're done with the webinars, we always send you the replay too, so you can watch it over and over again. Hey, Maureen's in the house. I didn't see her. Hello, Maureen. Anyway, so glad to have you all here. Of course, the dream team is here. Say hello to Amber, Lindsay, and to Jenny. And there's our Kathy. Good and grief. Everybody's just coming on down. Isn't this so fun? So I wanted to tell you about that. Plus, I also want you to go get your journal. Your journal's here. Savingdinner.com/journal. Go check it out. And, this is basically my whole goal setting system is in this journal, and it makes all the difference in the world. It really does. Because, and you understand this, you know this, the old systems don't work. I mean, how many times have you set goals and it just didn't happen, right? Am I right? I know, because I've done this myself. You're going to see on that page that I'm trying to tell you to go to, savingdinner.com/journal, you're going to see a stack of actual journals that I have purchased myself, and they didn't work. Too hard, too this, too that. You'll see. But anyway, I want you to look at that. So Tuesday, August 30th is our goal setting webinar. And I'm so excited about this Tuesday night. So mark it on your calendar. Let's get yourself registered. You can pre-game it if you want. Go ahead and buy your journal now. That's what the smart money would do. Especially because we got a bunch of damaged journals and have to send them back. So we have even less than we had in inventory. So definitely get on top of this. Hey, Vanessa, Sue, I'm so glad to see you. And Catherine's in the house as well. Nice to have you here. Tuesday, September 12th will be a webinar for journal holders only. It's going to be a masterclass on how to use this journal. And then we will begin on Tuesday, the 20th for the Rising Tide. This is a 3-week program only. It is intense, 2 hours each night. And we get down into the roots, hey, there's Mother Hen. There you go. Doris got hers today. Yay, I'm so glad. Good to have you here. My hair looks great. Listen, I discovered product, y'all. Product. And this is stuff that you put in and you munch your curls with. Come on. Except for me, it just makes my hair really big. So whatever. I'm going to go with big hair today. What are you doing? Thank you, Vanessa. Anyway, Flynn is in the house. And there's our girl, Carla, as well. So I feel like the gang's all here. Why don't we get busy and get down to it? And don't forget, I'm going to bring TikTok along for the ride. So I've got TikTok live right now. Hello, TikTok. Welcome. I've also got Facebook and YouTube, so that makes everything work. Corliss is in the house too. Hello, Corliss. Now, oh yes, The quote of the week is this. This is a really good one, by the way. There is nothing noble about being better than your fellow woman. I'm changing it. Woman. Only being better than your former self. You know, we need to constantly evolve, change, shift, become more. That's part of our purpose, by the way. And if you just follow that lead, you watch how your purpose will go into full bloom like you won't believe. I promise you, it's the truth. Flynn knows this. Flynn knows this by personal revelation, right? Revelation. She's lived it. So I've watched her fully bloom. I've watched so many of you fully bloom. Amber I see Amber over here, so it's great. Anyway, so I'm excited about this whole week. It's going to be pretty darn great. You ready to get busy? All right, let's do it. Well, first of all, if you want to get our newsletter, it's really easy. All you have to do is go to savingdinner.com and boom, go get your newsletter. That's how that whole thing works. That's number one. Number two is don't forget about your journal, savingdinner.com/journal. And if you want to get the goals going, that's going to be happening on the 30th. And all you have to do is sign up for that free webinar, savingdinner.com/goals. You ready? Let's go. We're talking about resilience. Now, stress. Anybody ever feel stress at all? Anyone? Hello. Let's raise both hands. High stress is responsible. We all know this. We've looked at this. High stress is involved with headaches, anxiety attacks, insomnia, eating disorders. Hello. Shortness of breath, body aches, and a whole host of other things. I mean, you fill in the blank. You probably have your own ones, right? This is the good thing that you need to know about. All right, you ready? Chronic stress kills brain cells. I don't know if you knew that, but chronic stress kills brain cells. So what it does is it actually shrinks the prefrontal cortex and reduces your ability to learn and remember. Isn't that frightening? That's what chronic stress does. It comes in there and crunches down on it. It's scary. But get this, I'm going to take you to a next level now about stress. And this is the part that's going to blow your mind. This is why I'm talking about it today, because you need to know about this. Hello, Kay Cruz over there. I'm glad you're here. Hello. Here's what happens. All right. So chronic stress kills brain cells, blah, 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 blah. We already know this, but only if you believe it to be so. I'm going to repeat that. Only if you believe it to be so. If you view stress negatively, then you are going to get all of the consequences of stress, including killing the brain cells, crunching down on your prefrontal cortex, etc. But get this. There is a psychologist named Kelly McGonigal, and she says we need to make stress our friend. Now, hear me on this, because this, once again, we're back at that same place of perspective, because perspective is so much. It's everything, okay? They did a study of 30,000 people, and they asked them, how stressful is your life? 8 years later, 43% who answered very stressful had died. Can you hear me on this? 43% of those who answered very stressful had died. But only if the participants had believed that stress was deadly. I don't know. I'm waiting for this to land. I mean, is this just blowing you away or what? This floored me. So this was an actual study. This is not some kind of, pulling it out of thin air. This is a study, y'all. So people who viewed high stress as not harmful were fine, right? As a matter of fact, they had the highest rate of survival. So your perspective is everything. When we talk about mindset, we talk about all these things. We talk about achieving goals and weight loss and becoming the person you're supposed to be and purpose and all of that. And you know what? Without having perspective in place, you're not going to do anything, because perspective is the name of the game. Perspective is home plate when it comes to any kind of change in your life, including something that might have the potential to be negative, like stress. So I'm just going to let that land, because to me, that's just unbelievable. But here's the thing, okay? Stress and belief equals the result. It's a simple math equation. So stress plus belief equals your result. You get what you believe. You get what you put your stock in. You know, that's what you invest in. You know how we talk about emotional capitalism? You know, capitalizing your emotional capital, you know, putting your emotional capital in certain places. Well, if you put your emotional capital in that, this is deadly and this is awful and this is, you know, going to kill me, guess what? You will be a self-fulfilling prophecy. That's exactly what it is. And that's what 79 Sanchez, Tammy over here, she said the same thing. You believe you will fail, it will happen. Yeah, you just set yourself up. And that includes stress, even though we've heard stress does this, stress does that, stress does this. What if we decided instead to view stress with a different lens? This is where it all gets interesting. So that study is surprising in several different ways, but there's some other things too that you need to know. First, the people who believe stress is enhancing to their lives are less depressed and more satisfied with their lives. Interesting how that works, isn't it? And number two, they had more energy and fewer health problems. Fewer health problems. For those on TikTok, if y'all aren't on TikTok, you got to get over there and go give me some love over there, by the way, at Saving Dinner, because we're almost going to hit 100,000 and I'd love your support. But listen to this for a minute. This is interesting. They have more energy and fewer health problems. There's a lady over there. I don't know who she is, but she is on TikTok and she healed herself of stage 4 colon cancer. She used to sing this little song every single day. I shared this in Full Bloom. Every little cell in my body is healthy. Every little cell in my body is fine. Just, you know what? Use TikTok as a search engine and find her and let her sing her little song to you. I mean, she's fabulous. She is fabulous. And I'm looking at all of this and going, yes, every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is fine. Because if you make friends with stress, or if you use stress maybe as an ally to leverage your energy even, what could happen? Don't you think that would help a lot? Number 3, they're also happier and more productive at work because they see those stress. You know, we all get the stress, don't we? We all get the stress from deadlines, from this, that, and the other thing. We can complain, we can cry, we can do all kinds of, I don't know who that woman was that sings. But if you if you go to TikTok and there's the little, magnifying glass and just put every little cell in my body is happy, see what pops up, because I don't know who she is. I just love her. I don't know why I didn't follow her, but I just love her. Because she is the living embodiment of exactly what this is, right? She didn't allow it to kill her. She decided to use it, leverage it. I just think it's so crazy. So here's what the study did a step further, and it measured cortisol after a traumatic event, like a car accident. Okay, now cortisol is what your adrenal glands release, right? And it can surge and just get out of control and all of that. You know what that does. It gives you superhuman powers to be able to lift, the car up off a child if you had to. That's adrenaline and cortisol both working to get your adrenal glands going bonkers. So, but interestingly, those who had very big surges of adrenaline and immediately following a huge stressful event recovered way better than those who stayed calm. In other words, you allowed for your body to process. What if we did that? What if we allowed for our bodies to process and then we go back and we affirm that our bodies are fine? This is what my body does. When I'm stressed out, my adrenaline goes up and I have surges of adrenaline constantly when I'm playing pickleball, constantly. But that's how it is. That's how we get through certain things. Researchers found that those with no stress had a low level of joy and happiness, and they had high levels of shame and anger. This is one study, y'all, but I think it's worth noting because the study proves that stress is, on the whole, is a lot more nuanced than previously thought. We used to say stress bad and it's just, it's going to kill you, and everybody's lining up like we're lining up for the firing squad, right? Like, okay, here it comes. But that's not the way it is. It's more nuanced. But doesn't that make sense? We're more nuanced. We are incredibly, fearfully and wonderfully made, remember. At all times, don't ever forget that. So on the other hand, though, stress, of course, can cause a downward spiral, bring on health issues, cause feelings of hopelessness and being out of control. But the difference in both of these things, and I will take it all the way through, y'all, it is mindset. It starts with perspective, and it goes right to the place of mindset. So it's about the ability to flip the switch again on stress and turn it around and decide, I'm going to make stress my ally. Okay? Let's go through and say, how do we do it? Here we go. I've got some steps for you. And like I said, if you are not getting our newsletter, you can simply go to savingdinner.com. The show notes for today's show will be in tomorrow's newsletter. Just get the newsletter. It's simple. It's easy. It's free. Okay, number 1, stress is bad only if we see it as bad. Is it a threat or is it a challenge? Those 2 different ways to think about something, isn't it? This is how we build our muscle, by the way. We stress our muscle. Today I did my arms today, and my muscles get a little bit sore, right? They get a little bit sore. So when your muscles get a little bit sore, then there's tiny tears that happen in the muscle, and they need a day to repair. But then they turn out to get stronger. This is what stress is, too. This is how I look at it. So we can stress our muscles, but that's going to put a little tiny tear in it. It's going to stress them out, but it's going to make them stronger in the long run. Number 2, when somebody tells you to calm down, that's like baptizing a cat, right? Don't calm down. Go ahead and process it, but do it appropriately, right? Do it appropriately. That's it. Just say, I need to process this right now, y'all. That doesn't mean that we go around slicing everybody's heads off and screaming like an out of control 3-year-old at Target. It means that we process in a way that is appropriate and allowing for your adrenaline to flow, your cortisol to go crazy. And instead of just pushing it away, we kind of embrace the excitement for a minute, right? Think about that for a minute. Just say, okay, yeah, I'm a little bit excited right now. A little excited right now. It's not a crisis, according to Eric Barker, who wrote a bunch of different books. I really like him. I wish I could think of one right now off the top of my head. He says it's not a crisis, it's a cup of strong coffee. I love that. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it is a crisis. But this is how we can deal with things on the regular basis. Number 3, if we view stress as a helper, then we're going to be able to leverage these physiological changes we experience. We can allow the nitric oxide to open the blood vessels in our heads so we can think better blood flow, better thinking. That works. It's good for your heart too. So that's a benefit, right? Number 4, we think strength. Stress hormones can help work on your behalf. Ask for the help. Align with them. When the stress hormones come, and they will, anybody ever feel stress, right? When they come, okay, just say, hey, help me align with them. Help me align with this stress so that I can leverage it for my good and for the good of others. There's a thought. And remember too, tap into memories of when you have completed something and you're under the deadline and you didn't think you could get it done and you did. Tap into that and tap into your communities around you. Do you have a good community around you? You need to have your folks. Man, they know what you're going through. They know what you're about, and they are going to love you up. That's important. Number 5 is to decide and execute on your goals. Hello, goals again. You know what goals are? Goals are basically deadlines. They help to push us past what our comfort zones are. Because remember what a comfort zone is? A trap. Comfort zones are traps. But goals push us, goals stretch us. Even in time of big stress, they increase our motivation, our courage, because how else are you going to be there for others and for yourself if you can't pull out some motivation and if you can't be courageous enough to stay the course? That's stress does that. Stress pushes you on that. So here's the secret sauce on all of this. Choosing meaning over avoidance is what it is. Because let's just face it, am I right? Can somebody give me a pinkies up? Let me ask you, do you ever feel like you're really uncomfortable with stress around? It just makes you feel kind of squishy. You don't like it? It challenges you though. If we look at it as a challenge, it is going to help us to level up. Yes, pinkies up on that one for sure, Amber. That's how you become resilient, by the way. You become resilient because you stand up to the challenge. You don't cower away and you don't hide away and you don't just sit there and lament over the stress in your life. You say, okay, girlfriend, game on, let's go, right? We have to. That's the secret sauce right there because that's the mindset shift. Have you noticed anything in your life that you've ever wanted really badly is all about changing your mind on something, making a different decision and pivoting. So instead of coping with harmful avoidance behaviors, because that's what we do, and you know what are harmful avoidance behaviors? How about drinking too much, eating too much, even binge eating, staying up way too late, playing games on your phone, and just basically numbing out any way we can. That's what that is. Coping mechanisms don't help to leverage up your life. Coping mechanisms will not give you the vibrant life that you're seeking, ever. That they just can't. They're not equipped to do that. So if instead of hiding from the challenge, we embrace the challenge, stress and all, we're going to see something different, completely different. But it all starts right here between your ears. Right? There's your ears. There's all that gray matter up there. What are you going to do? Avoid or lean in and take up the challenge? I'm going to take up that challenge. And I'm challenging you all this week when something stressful comes your way, look at it and say, I know what you're doing here. You're a challenge. Game on. Who's with me? Pinkies up? Why not? Let's do it. Thank you so much for joining me for Motivational Monday. Tuesday is Transformational Tip Tuesday. And boy, I've got some good stuff for you. Can't wait to see you there. Peace be with you. I appreciate you. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining me today. You can find me on TikTok for daily tips to help support your most vibrant life. And remember, you are the author of your own story. Until next time.